What is happening, everybody? So today we're here to celebrate. The ROG Ally has officially sold more than 400,000 units in only 2 months. I believe the exact number is around 455,000 units. And it actually hasn't even been 2 months. It's been little over 1 month. And Asus is doing wonderfully with the handheld PC so far. I can actually see it selling a lot more than the Steam Deck, mostly because of the availability and because the thing looks so dang cool. But there was something that happened to my ROG Ally recently that I want to talk about, and it's a little warning to anybody using a specific product with it. So stay tuned for that, but first, we're going to go over these numbers. So according to the internet, the ROG Ally's total revenue is around $318.6 million in just over a month. I think a lot of people would agree. I see this as an absolute win. The fact that Asus has almost sold 500,000 units in just over a month are exceptional numbers for a gaming laptop and especially a handheld Windows PC like the Ally. And my general experience with the Ally has been overall positive. Sure, the docking experience isn't exactly what you would want from a hybrid handheld gaming device like the Ally, but there are ways to work around it if you're smart enough. Like with the last video I posted, there's a tool called Rewasd that I normally use. And if you want to know how that works, check out my last video. And yes, the ROG Ally has been advertised to play all of your games and pretty much any application that works with Windows. But that doesn't mean you should go to any website and download everything you see. You should be smart and definitely watch out for malware and viruses and just amp up your security on the ROG Ally like I have. And honestly, because of all the great deals out there, the best way I make sure my ROG Ally is fully secure anywhere I go, albeit free Wi-Fi or a mobile hotspot, is a message from our sponsor. This video has been sponsored by the great people at Surfshark. When it comes to being on the go and getting the proper security, a lot of the times antivirus and anti-malware software just doesn't cut it. So I add an extra layer of security. Surfshark provides the best security and protects you, especially when you're connecting to public Wi-Fi or even a mobile hotspot. If you want to protect your devices against hackers that want to get a hold of your credit card and bank details, social media passwords, email login credentials, or any other personal information that can put you in danger, especially while you're connected to public Wi-Fi or your mobile hotspot, Surfshark VPN helps to encrypt all of that information so that if a hacker tries to even look at it, it'll end up looking like scrambled nonsense. Surfshark can also pretty much teleport you and your computer to any country around the world. So say you're watching Netflix or Hulu and want to watch a specific show like Snowpiercer, but it's not available in your country, like say America. So with Surfshark VPN, you can pretty much transport any PC you're using, or in my case, handheld Windows PC, to any country around the world. And in my case, that's either Canada, the UK, or Australia, in order to watch a show like Snowpiercer. And right now you can get Surfshark VPN for 81% off with 3 months free. All you have to do is enter the promo code TORO at checkout. And again, that is the promo code TORO, T-O-R-O, at checkout, and you'll get 81% off with an additional 3 months free of Surfshark VPN. And I'll provide the affiliate link below in the description. And make sure to protect all your devices and watch any show you want on either Netflix or Hulu with Surfshark VPN. And again, thank you Surfshark for sponsoring this video. So going back into the fact that I almost broke my ROG Ally, real quick, I just want to warn you about the superior micro SD cards that are being sold on Amazon. So they work perfectly fine. The speed is okay on the actual SD card, but what almost broke my ROG Ally physically was the size and thickness of the micro SD card. For some reason, the superior micro SD cards are a little thicker than SanDisk, PNY, and the Samsung micro SD cards. I'm not going to reenact it because I don't want to break my ROG Ally. But while placing the SD card in, it seemed to have gotten jammed. I was considering using tweezers to take it out, but if your superior micro SD card gets jammed in your ROG Ally because of its thickness, all you have to do is kind of push the micro SD card towards the front of your ROG Ally and it should just pop right out. Pushing it further in might actually permanently jam those superior micro SD cards further into your ROG Ally, so try not to do that, but instead, if you have a long-ish nail, try to push the micro SD card towards the front of your ROG Ally to prevent it from getting jammed even deeper into your ROG Ally's micro SD slot. But yeah, it took me about 2 minutes to figure out that you just have to kind of wiggle the SD card around side by side. So yeah, make sure to do those steps and it'll save your ROG Ally and micro SD card. So yes, the ROG Ally has officially sold 455,000 units around the world. And the main reason to bring it up is of course to celebrate, but also to talk about how some Steam Deck fans seem to be trying to gaslight and minimize how successful the ROG Ally actually is. It's just strange to me because this system is obviously doing great. The sales numbers and just the general reception kind of say it all. But it seems like some fans out there seem to be almost upset that Asus is either still successful or becoming more successful shortly after the motherboard issues started to be more talked about. And I think this is a problem with the perception of business and a company overall. Judging by what Asus is doing, to me, that's exactly what I want a company to do. To try to fix the wrongs they did as soon as possible and to give us more awesome things in return. And it seems like with the motherboard issues, Asus is listening to their customers. It took a little longer than expected, but they are a global company. There are some companies that altogether stopped selling GPUs or motherboards because they knew they couldn't reach the quality they wanted. And in some strange way, a lot of people see this as a good thing. I'm not sure about you, but instead of no motherboards being sold, I'd rather have some being sold with a few issues. And yes, that's a hard pill to swallow, but it seems like a lot of PC gamers don't do well with hard pills to swallow. Surprisingly, I just think that the community is very battered and they have a lot of trauma with making PCs, but it's a hobby. It's going to have its downsides and its upsides. You can't expect a piece of hardware to be absolutely perfect, or a company that's in the midst of a chip shortage or any kind of material shortage to be perfect. I think Asus is doing the best that they possibly can, and they're listening to as many people as possible. The reason why Valve is so on point to respond constantly is not because they're a better company. It's because the Steam Deck is literally the only hardware that they're working on. Asus is working on phones, motherboards, GPUs, full-size PCs, gaming laptops, and now handheld gaming PCs. They're taking the market by storm, and there's just a lot of ground to cover. I think the responses from Asus, given a little more than a month, has been an okay frequency. I think the amount of ROG Ally sold already speaks volumes to the quality that the handheld actually offers. And sure, their customer service might not be as immediate as Valve's, but all Valve is doing right now is managing Steam and Steam Deck. They're only working on two things. It's not like they have a lot to do. It's kind of like a manager that just watches surveillance of their employees. They have pretty much nothing else to do. That's the main reason why they look so great at communication, because that's all they have to fix the Steam Deck and to work on their Steam platform. Most of the time, the game developer works on their games and Steam just gives them some suggestions here and there. And they also have quality controls sometimes. But Asus is not only a much bigger company, they are galaxies bigger than Valve when it comes to products, marketing, and just the general global economy. The only difference between Asus and Apple is that nobody questions Apple. Apple is pretty much a superpower when it comes to technology. If Apple does something wrong, a lot of people express that they hate it. And guess what? Apple doesn't care because they're a superpower. They do not care. The only difference with Asus is that they actually show that they care sometimes because they're working on so many things, just like Apple. I think cutting them some slack and giving them some kind of credit where credit is due would do them and a lot of their customers a service. But yeah, 455,000 units, baby. And the numbers just keep growing. But I have been guilty of criticizing some companies for not doing as good as they should, and I think everybody should. I'm not saying in any regard that Asus shouldn't get criticism, but I do believe customers out there should have some kind of patience and hope that the company will do better. And a lot of people are guilty of this. But I think regardless of how cliche it sounds, if there's a will, there's a way. and I think Asus found it, and that was the ROG Ally. But just realizing the fact that the ROG Ally already sold more than 400,000 units worldwide and puts into perspective how popular the ROG Ally actually is. I see this as an amazing thing, and the main reason why I mention all this criticism is because I have nothing but hope for Asus, and I know based on their past that they're capable of doing amazing things. And everybody goes through some kind of rough patch here and there, and that's not excluding any kind of company or business. But yeah, all of the people hating on Windows without any kind of direction, they should feel a little bit ashamed. But maybe they just need some kind of lullaby. But I digress. I can't believe the kind of amazing year that it's been for Asus and ROG Ally. And I just wanted to say, I truly appreciate all the positive comments and feedback that I've been getting over the course of this month and a half, especially towards my ROG Ally videos. And I do believe we can make this community grow and become something eventually even bigger than the Steam Deck community. And I'm happy to be a part of it. And there's a lot more videos to come. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And don't forget to put in that promo code if you are going to get Surfshark. It'll help this channel a lot. And this is my first sponsor, so please be kind to them because they have hope in me. I have hope in them. I have hope in Asus. I have hope in ROG Ally. And I hope you guys have an incredible day. Later.